Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I want to show you all how I do my simple everyday makeup look. When I say simple, everyday makeup is different from those other makeup that you do, right? Yeah, the ones you do when you want to go for an event. Yeah, so today's video I'm showing you all how to do a simple makeup look, something you can take 5 minutes to do. Yeah, so to do this, we have to minimize some steps because you cannot do all the steps in makeup, starting from face prep, contour, foundation, and still done in 5 minutes. No, it's not possible. So we have to, I'm showing you all how to do simple 5 minute makeup, and why you minimize some steps and the makeup still come out looking nice. So as always, for every makeup, we always start with the face prep, which I'll begin by cleaning my face using my micellar waters. Then the next thing, I go in with my sweat and oil control, CBD sweat and oil control. That's because I sweat a lot. My face produces lots of oil. This sweat and oil control works like magic. Like ever since I started using it, my face produces less oil each time I have my makeup on. So I go with my CPD sweat and oil control. Then I just applied, I just around the key area that produces oil, that sweat a lot, like the nose, the side of the nose, the forehead, and the chin. Those are the areas that produces oil on my face. Then I let it to dry. After that, I go with my moisturizer. After moisturizing, I go with my V Beauty mattifying primer, which I apply just around the area that produces oil. Then I lock in everything using my Kiss Beauty setting spray. So for foundation, I'm using my V Beauty foundation in the shade Melanin. So I'm using just as I'm blending, as I'm applying, I just blend because that foundation dries up pretty fast. So moving on, I minimize the contour step and the blush step, the cream contour and the blush. Yeah, we said this is a 5 minute makeup. We don't have to be putting all of those things. We want to minimize some steps and the makeup still come out nice. Yeah, so my junior sister helped me to record. She was telling me that, oh, and see, you forgot the face contour. I told her, no, I'm aware. This is a different kind of makeup tutorial where we have to minimize some steps. So I just apply my highlighter. I just wanted the face to be highlighted. Yeah, I just applied on the bridge of the nose, the forehead, and the chin, then the under eye. Then I use my CPD soft and damp beauty sponge to just blend in everything. Then I go in with my Kiss Beauty setting spray. Then I dry it all with my fan. For the next step, I'll be setting my face, which I use my Adventure setting powder in the shade Vanilla. Yeah, so I just set the highlighted area, which are the under eye, the bridge of the nose, the forehead, and the chin. So as can you see the point where I dust up the excess setting powder? Yeah, when you pick your setting powder using your powder puff, you dust the excess at the back of your palm. Before you go in, we are using one layer of the setting powder, right? You don't want excess contour of the setting powder. So after setting, I'm just going in with my powder for my V Beauty powder palette to set all the blank spaces. That's the rest of the face. Yeah, can you see? I just set the blank spaces. Then I go in now with my powder contour. As you can see, I know the cream contour section because let's assume that I'm in a hurry. I don't have that time. I have just 5 minutes to do my makeup. Yeah, so you have to minimize some steps. So I'm going in with my powder contour, which I apply underneath the cheekbone, the temple, the sides of the nose. Can you see? I'm using my small fluffy angle brush to contour the sides of my nose. I previously minimized the cream. Yeah. So after that, I'll just use my big fluffy brush to just make sure I blend around the side of the nose. Then I wanted the under eye to be brightened up a little bit, so I'm going in with that shade from my Beauty powder palette just for the under eye to brighten that up a little bit. So moving on, we are going to blush. Like I explained earlier, we minimize the cream blush. Now we are going to powder. Yeah, so I want to give the face some warmness. So I'm just going with my pink blush from my exclusive blush palette. Yeah, then I use my Kiss Beauty setting spray to melt down the powder effect, right? So for baking, I'm going in with my Mirac setting powder in the shade cinnamon. So I just wanted the nose to be snatched. Yeah, so I'm baking with my Mirac setting powder because I don't like using that adventure setting powder to bake, because I found that setting powder, like, it's not like Mirac, it sticks to the skin. So after baking, to dust it up and blend, it becomes so difficult. You have to blend for long. But with Mirax, it just sinks into your skin. You don't need to stress while blending the excess setting powder. Yeah, so for rest contour, I'm using my powder from my VBG powder palette, which is one shade lighter than my skin. So moving on to brows, I started off by laying down my hair using my brows gel from Nikki Signature and my mascara brush from Venina. So I just brush at this point, as you can see, I'm brushing my brows upward. Then I go in with my Mirac setting powder again to just press and dust up to make sure every oil is absorbed. Then I dust it off. So for the brows, I'm mixing my black and brown shade. Like, I always like to mix the two because, I'm dark. I'm kind of dark. If I use just the brown, the shade 2 of the brown, it won't be revealing, right? It won't be pigmented. So I always like mixing the two shade, mixing like 10% of black with 90% of the brown, just to make it a little bit darker. Yeah, so to outline my brows, I'm using my angle brush from Isa and those. Then I'm using the tips of my angle brush. So I have my small tissue paper that I used to just flatten up the angle brush. Yeah, when you're using the brows gel, you have to always clean the angle brush because you don't want the tips to be too thick. So I have my tissue which I use from time to time as I'm doing the makeup like that. Yeah, so I just clean the tips of when I outline the bottom, I clean the tips. When I outline and I'm going to the top, I say clean the tips again, so that the angle brush should be really pointed and it should be thin here. That's what I mean. So to fill in the brows, I'm using my Davis pencil in the shade 003. So I'm producing tiny hair like stroke. I'm feeling, starting from the beginning, I just gave little gap such that it's going to look natural. Then towards the end, I'm making the hairline to be very close. Yeah, can you see that? Yeah. So moving on to concealer, I'm going to conceal just the bottom. That's why I took my time to produce my outline. I'm concealing just the bottom. At that time, we said this is a 5-minute makeup. Even though we're taking the tutorial, it's taking more than 5 minutes. So I just started off by, I'm using my spotless concealer. Then I'm still using my Isa and those concealer brush. It's actually flat. Yeah. So I'm using the tips of my Isa and those concealer brush to conceal. Can you see that highlight around the brow bone? That's the highlighted area of the brow. So you use a lighter concealer. So for the beginning of the brows now, towards your nose contour, you're using a darker shade of concealer or foundation. So after concealing the highlighted area of the brows, I'm just using my big fluffy brush. Small fluffy brush to blend in. Then for the beginning, I go with my darker shade of foundation. I use my Adventure foundation. So remember, we are not leaving that area moist. So at this point, as you can see, I'm going with the powder from my VBT powder palette, which is equivalent to the exact shade I use, right? That's the beginning. I use a darker shade. Then the rest of the section, I use a lighter shade, right? Can you see? You know what I'm saying? So when you're doing your makeup, always do like that. Avoid using one shade from beginning to the end, right? Yeah, I was just feeling myself. So for eyeshadow, I said I wanted a very simple, this kind of everyday makeup. We don't have to do something harsh and wild. My junior sister was asking me, Auntie, why are you putting the brows pomade instead of normal eyeshadow base? I said no, I wanted my eyes to be looking a bit smoky. So for eyeshadow, I started out by placing my brown brows pomade on my eyelids. Then I use my fluffy brush to blend in. I don't want something that will take me time. Remember, I will say it's just 5 minutes. So after that, I went in with my dark shade. No, it's not actually the darkest shade. It's not too dark. From my VBC Naked palette, I just apply around the spot where I put my brows pomade. So I just blend in everything. We're not spreading it all over. You blend just around the eyeballs. So for the edges, I use that brown shade from my BB palette to just smooth out the edges, starting from the inner corner to the outer corner. So for my under eye, I use that same dark shade to just smooth out my under eye. Yeah. Can you see? Exactly. That's how you should do. Now, for my lashes, so when I want to place, each time I want to place my lashes, right, I'll kind of carry my head up, like you lift your head up, then like, I don't know how I can really explain it. So I always start by placing my lashes from the outer corner of the eye. Then when I immediately place my lashes, I just hold it and count for like 6 seconds for it to stick. After counting, then I carry the other section now and just place in front. Yeah, so for my waterline, I'm using my black brows pomade from KR Makeup and my Isa and those angle brush to do. So yeah, so after lining my under eye, I just go in with my small fluffy brush, just smooth out the under eye. So for my lips, I started by outlining my lip using my brown brows pomade from KR Makeup as always, and my small flat brush from Vanilla Brush Set 32 Vanilla Brush Set. Yeah. So after that, I just smack. Then I go in with my red lip stain from Tonivia. Is it called Tonivia? I'll check it out. Yeah. Then I just blend, smack. I went in to blend further. And I just look at my hair looking like a mad woman. So after that, I didn't want to leave your red like that. So I go with this same concealer, which I use in concealing my brows. I just place on the middle. Then I just pat gently, smacking. Just like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then I go in now with my not big fluffy brush, sorry. What's all this guy? I go with my small fluffy brush, just blend around the edges, make sure there's no harsh line. Then I use my fan brush to dust off the excess eyeshadow fallout. I don't know, that was off camera. My sister didn't record that part. Then after that, I go with my fluffy brush to blend everything, the setting powder, blend my face, everything out, press in the setting powder around the under eye. Yeah, then I use my big fluffy brush again to just make sure everything is in place. Then I melt down everything using my Kiss Beauty Speak spray or setting spray as always. So at this point, I was just applying some glow around my chin, my forehead. Yeah, I like my forehead to be popping. So for the highlighter and bronzer, I'm using this highlighter palette from Blossom Makeup. Then I'm using my small fluffy brush to just apply the highlighter. So the point where I apply the highlighter is a point separating the blush and the concealer. Yeah. So after that, I use my fan brush to just blend it out. One harsh line, right? Yeah, no harsh line. So I just blend everything. Yeah. So after thorough blending, I just go in with still with the highlighter. I'm using this small fluffy brush, just the tips of the fluffy brush. You don't need to put a lot. So starting from where the nose begins, that's the bridge of the nose. Yeah, I just place it around the bridge of the nose. Then I use my small fan brush to blend. So I went in now with my absolute lip gloss, just give that lip some glow and shine. Yeah. So to see and unlock the makeup, it's been long I use this spray. I use my So Pro Slit spray to just finalize everything. Yeah. So guys, what do you think about the look? Please rate it Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Guys, can you see how simple it looks? This is simple. You don't need stress. It's just you can work with it within the day, right? It's not harsh. It's just simple. It's a simple everyday makeup look. So thank you so super much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share again. Bye.